All right, I'm just barely my brain is just barely coming online for the first time today here. I what happened? I kind of I just realized I wasn't going to make it till Christmas without having at least one day of trying to have some fun. So, there was a little bit of fighting, there was a little bit of wait, how's it go? There was some drinking, there was some fighting, there was some fornicating. I need to stop eating peanuts. Um So a lot of things happened yesterday. I can't really remember what all happened after I was high and what happened before I was high. One thing is, so I went and got a bottle of we got a bottle of liquor. Drank some liquor. We got a little bit drunk. Mo got really drunk. I think because he hadn't eaten for 2 days or something, and he just started drinking. He started threw up. Um, and I had some THC beer. Um, and then we went to Whitney's and talked with Mike Ingerdly or something. What is his last name? I can't remember. Ingerdly. But he's like almost famous for knowing famous people. It was almost he has so many stories that he wants to tell you all of them about the famous people he knows, the comedians and whatever. Um, uh, that was okay, but whenever I'm around the comedians, like any comedians, I kind of feel like bad because I know I'm leaving, so I just it's a um. Anyways, what else happened yesterday? Yesterday, I don't know if I talked about this at all yesterday, but yesterday, so I was talking to the Ecuadorian girl at Taco Bell. I said, like, as a joke, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get some food, I'm gonna hit on an Ecuadorian girl, like as my daily goal. And sure enough, like I went and I talked to the manager, and the manager, like every time I go in there, I talk to the manager and I always joke with her. And she always like she's got jokes too. We have a good time. And then she was like, "I'm gonna send it to somebody on break." And then she sent somebody on break, and that girl just happened to sit right next to me. And she's like a really cute Ecuadorian girl. And then I was asking her like for her Instagram and for her WhatsApp. And she said no. And then I was like, "Okay, you got a boyfriend?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got a boyfriend." And I was like, "Oh, the pretty ones always have a boyfriend." And then she laughed. And it was like not a big deal, right? It was fine. I turn around and this white guy is shaking his head. I'm like, "What are you shaking your head about?" He's like, "You're bothering her." And then I lost my shit on him. 'Cause I'm still, like, angry about it. I'm angry about him shaking his head at me. That's all I'm angry about, like, what the fuck? Like, am I not allowed to try to enjoy my life? Is it against the rules or, you have to judge me for trying to have a good life? Like, I don't know where he thinks went wrong. Was it that I'm not supposed to talk to her at all? And then if I'm not supposed to talk to her at all, then why? Like, because she's Ecuadorian and I'm white, therefore I'm not supposed to talk to her at all? Or because she's a female and like there's no logic behind there's no way you can like logically say, "Oh yeah, it's like wrong for you to even talk to her." So then the only thing he can say is like it was wrong to like keep talking to her after she said no, which I didn't do. So there was no, you know what I mean? Like he's like, You're bothering her." But even if I was bothering her, like the amount of time it takes to talk to somebody to realize that you're bothering them, which by the way, I asked her like, "Do you speak English?" She said yes. And then I said, "Can you translate something for me?" She said yes. And then I gave her a sentence to translate and she translated it for me. And then I made a joke out of it and she laughed. Like, where the fuck did I do something where I was crossing the boundaries? That doesn't make any sense. And this motherfucker is like, okay, so what I want to say is like, you should be allowed to bother people. You should be allowed. I'm not 100% sure what I mean by that because, like, clearly I have been bothered by people and I wanted them to not bother me and to go away. So obviously there's that. And, everybody should have the right to go about their lives unharassed and unmolested. I just using the word molested because that's what it means in, because that's the word they use in Spanish, um, for harassed or bothered, right? I think. Anyways, so like, yeah, everybody should be able to go out and it's like, and I see, you know, when people are harassing somebody or when somebody's it really is bad. But at the same time, like, you have to take the risk that you're going to bother somebody or that you're going to harass them in order to have any conversation at all. But I want to take it another level. Like, okay, if you're a comedian, then you kind of have license to harass people sometimes. I mean, it's not like you can just go around harassing people all the time. I mean, you can as long as you don't break the law. Like, if that's what you like to do, you can do it. But my point is that, like, you know, how much can you harass people before people just think you're an asshole? Like, because if you, I mean, like what Nathan Fielder does, for example, he doesn't really harass people at all, but like, he does fuck with people. He fucks with people's heads pretty hard. But or Eric Andre is a case where like he was legitimately harassing people. Was it? But it was funny. And we all know, like, looking from the as an audience, assuming you're a fan of his and you get his humor, you see that he was like harmlessly, he was harassing people, but in the end, it was harmless. Actually, some of his stunts, I bet you I bet you he will get sued if he hasn't already been sued. Because man, he really fucks with people's heads. But anyway, so from the audience's point of view, like we see, like, okay, there was a little bit of harassment there, but at the same time, we see why. Like it was part of the prank or it was part of the bit. Um, so I think most people would say, like, if you bother people in public, but it's part of a skit or a prank and it doesn't go too far, like there's a certain amount of leeway, before it becomes like unacceptable behavior. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that you should go past the what's acceptable and just full on harass people. You kind of like have to. Not like not like what am I trying to say? Not all the time, not like as a habit, but like if you are trying to, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter if it's sales or you're trying to meet someone or whatever, like you're going to eventually piss someone off. You're going to eventually go too far. You're going to eventually go to the point where you walk away feeling like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. I really pushed that. I should have left them alone. They clearly wanted me to leave them alone and I kept going and kept going. Um, but okay, first of all, like, as much as like I don't like being harassed. Nobody likes being harassed. Nobody should have to be harassed. But at the same time, like, nobody should be ignored or nobody should be lonely for long periods of time. Nobody should have nobody to talk to for long stretches of time. And so it's like, if I need to talk to somebody and you refuse to talk to me, then it looks like I'm in the wrong. but am I? And women, especially the women, the pretty women, they get harassed constantly. They get, and I mean, for starters, like to pretend like they don't like it a lot of the time is insane. They love to fucking flirt and they get upset when people don't hit on them. And so like that's just part of the game. And then like to blame the man every time, like, oh, you're harassing her. It's like, did she I don't even like her. I'm doing this because she like indicated that she would be butthurt if I didn't, you know? That happens a lot. I mean, and if you ask her straight up if that's the case, she'll never fucking say yes, obviously, because that would be like hugely embarrassing. Anyway, so it's like if you're lonely or you want to talk to people or something, or you want to make friends, you don't have friends, and then you go try to make friends, and in the process, you bother people. And it's like when you bother people, it's very visible and it's easy to judge and it's easy to criticize. But that if you're just going through your life day after day after day, lonely and without anybody to talk to and depressed and shit, then like that is not visible, and it's hard to criticize people for not doing something to help you, to talk to you, to to make you feel like uh you're not alone, or you're not lonely, or to like try to help you develop a relationship, or to introduce you to somebody that like you could be in a relationship with, any of these things. And like, so it's like if you go out and try to meet people, then you might be in the wrong for harassing people. But if everybody in the whole fucking world just ignores you, and while you're desperately lonely, then they're not wrong for that. And you see how it's like kind of, I don't know. I mean, you could say the same thing about like robbery, for example. It's like if somebody is truly just like when somebody does robbery, especially armed robbery, right? Let's say there's no violence in it, but it is like threat of violence robbery, right? And we will obviously say that person is wrong and that person is bad and you shouldn't do that. But like, what if that person is struggling financially and they're sinking deeper and deeper into struggles, and we collectively ignore them? Is that not equally wrong? Is that not equally bad? But when we ignore that person, like that nothing happened. Ignore When you ignore somebody, what happens is nothing. That by definition, right? So it seems like nobody did anything wrong because nobody did anything. I'm probably beating this point to death at this point, which I like to do. I don't care actually. It's not like nobody's ever gonna listen to me rant about this except for me. I will listen to this again, and it will put me to sleep, or I'll be like, yeah, exactly. Finally, somebody said what I've been thinking. uh, Somehow I have a scab on the inside of my nose here. I haven't even been doing drugs, so well, marijuana and caffeine. Anyways, I kind of want to drill down, and also I kind of feel like this topic, this question is like even more pertinent in Taiwan than it is in the US, because Taiwanese people have more resistance to talking with strangers, or like talking on, they're not very like fluid. They're not like Filipinos. Filipinos, you don't never if you never met them in your life, they'll just start a friendly conversation with you before you even have a chance to try. And but um Japanese and Taiwanese are sort of like, okay, we have like this sort of formality that we have to adhere to, and if you break the formality, then they shy away. Um, so and the formality involves like being reserved to a certain extent. So it's hard to meet people because in order to meet people, you have to be reserved somewhat. And then if you try to like break out of the reservedness, then and just aggressively go talk to people, um, then they will reject you super hard. They're like, "Whoa, that's well, I don't. That's not how I interact with people. I interact with people in these like formalized fashion." And then, and then the more they reject you, the more like you get like angry and try to like break through the formality even more so, and then you look like a piece of shit. Um, but are you a piece of shit, or is it Taiwan that ignored like all of Taiwanese people fucking ignored you? That was their problem. That was their fault. You know. And then the other thing is like they're very sensitive to like noise. You're supposed to be quiet. They if you make noise, they get angry. Way more than mainlanders. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why I think like oh like I will meet a lot of people in Taiwan and I'll make friends easily because like literally they would have a hard time meeting somebody just because I speak Chinese. Basically, it boils down to because I speak Chinese and I speak with a Taiwanese accent and I can read the characters and I have like a good business plans or something similar to a good business plan. And I'll keep get things going and just have a lot of reasons to contact a lot of people and I'm sure some of them will develop into friends. And I have like a bunch of old contacts that I could hit up and we'll see. You never know. Like sometimes you hit up old contacts and they're not around, don't answer, not or they're just, they're in a they don't even remember you or whatever. But sometimes you hit up old contacts and like it's like 20 years went by in one day. It's just like it was 20 years ago. Everything's great. Um so anyways, but I will say, the time when I in my life when I was really good at talking with women was when it started with I just harassed the shit out of a girl and I felt terrible about it. Like I didn't want to harass her and um I didn't think it was okay. Like I did it by accident and then I felt like fucking terrible about it. But the thing is like okay, so she was reading like a book called like The Color of Blue or something, or like the philosophy of the color of blue, something like that. And I said to her, like, that's an interesting book. What's it about? And she just looked at me and was like, and ignored me, right? And I was like, okay, fuck you. Like, I'm not even hitting on you. I'm just trying to make a friendly conversation. We're both waiting for the bus. Like, so then I like on the bus, I just kept on talking to her as if we were like old friends and saying things that everybody else was hearing that as if we were like old friends or something, like purely trying to annoy her. Like clearly she did not want to talk to me. She didn't want me. And I just went into full harassment mode. And I was like, you know what? This stupid fucking bitch deserves it. I'm just trying to have a friendly conversation with her. And she doesn't have the fucking courtesy to just have a friendly response. Um, and so anyways, I was clearly in the wrong there. And I came away like but it broke me through that barrier where it's like that's the reason you don't talk to people and the reason you don't is because you're worried that that's going to happen. And also it made me okay, so for starters it made me so that when I get angry because I got rejected basically, I think about that moment and I'm like don't be that guy again. So then I just okay, you rejected me, you're not interested in talking to me, fair enough, go on your day, I'll go on my day, no harm no foul. Like this is just, it's one of the outcomes that happens when you try talking with people once in a while. And then Is by the way, this is it's all very much it's similar to like what happens when you it's all very similar to what happens when you tell a joke that the audience doesn't like. And not that they don't think it's funny, but that they're offended by. And then it's like you have the option of being like you can be like reverse offended. Like I'm offended that you are offended, which most comedians do. And it's not like a game or like it's literally like you're a fucking piece of shit for being offended at my joke. That's the attitude, which it's probably true. The comedian is probably correct according to me. However, like it doesn't make for a good set to have that attitude. It doesn't make for like a likable comic to have this attitude. I mean, unless you roast the shit out of them and it's funny, then that's great. But if you just have this attitude like, how dare you be offended at my joke? You're a piece of shit. That's not really funny and it just gets bad vibes and it's bad for everything. Um so anyways, yeah, when somebody's offended at your joke or when somebody rejects you, you got to just say can't win them all and walk away. And just say, honestly, at the end of the day, they are the person that doesn't have a sense of humor. They are the person that's incapable of just having friendly conversations with people in a casual way. So they're the ones that have to live in that misery, not me. And so I could just let them live in their misery. Whenever they want to stop being fucking miserable, they can come back and we'll have a conversation if that's what they want to do, or if we're still even in the same vicinity. But like you can't win them all. And when you piss somebody off, when you say the wrong thing, when you get rejected, when you tell a joke that offends somebody, sometimes you just gotta say, not sometimes, like your default, unless there's a very specific reason why you're not gonna respond this way. You just say you can't win them all and just walk away and leave them alone. And they're gonna and they're gonna think that above you, but fucking that's all. You can't control what people think of you that to that degree, anyways. Like you can influence it, but if it goes bad, then it goes bad and you can't control it. So, but anyways, when you're talking with people, you're worried that that's going to happen. You're worried you're going to get rejected and you don't want to get rejected. And then if you get rejected, you might get angry. And in this case, all three happened. She rejected me. I got angry and like refused to accept the rejection. Um, and then, and then I like acted out on anger. Which, by the way, is kind of similar to what I did to the guy at Taco Bell yesterday, because he judged me, and then instead of just accepting that I can't control his judgments of me, and that he's the one that lives in a miserable state where he thinks it's not okay to talk to women or not okay to talk to Ecuadorians. I don't know which one it is. I tried to like prove my point, which was fine because honestly, it was like kind of like crowd work and kind of like, I just made fun of him and made a video of me making fun of him while he just sat there, and that was fine. Like that's okay. And he's he's a guy, so according to his moral code, it's okay to harass him or something. I don't know. But I was clearly harassing him, and that's okay. I don't mind at all. Fuck him. Fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. I think maybe that's another thing is sort of like the people that feel like you harass them they are typically the pieces of shit. So that said, I mean, I remember when I was in China when I was in China, I was a different person. I didn't want anybody talking to me because people would talk to me all the time. They harass me constantly. They ask me where I'm from, blah, blah. Like last night, another example. I'm all over the place here, but that's fine. Uh, yeah, you know what? I actually, Okay, so what am I rambling about? I can ramble about this all day. Um, holy shit, this guy sleeps all day. He gets up and he takes a fucking 2-hour shower, which is fine. Keep him in the shower. Keep him out of my face. Hmm. I don't know. This probably doesn't. Well, I'll say this: like in the past couple months, I've had very many really good conversations with Ecuadorian women and Ecuadorian men, and it's fun. Sometimes we speak Spanish, sometimes we speak English, sometimes we go back and forth. They like telling me about Ecuador. I like hearing about Ecuador. I like asking them about Ecuadorian food and Ecuadorian restaurants in the city, stuff like that. Um, and I don't know that this stupid white guy that was like judging me, and a lot of times like they give me their phone number and like it's clearly a thing where like I think I'm supposed to ask them out on a date or something, you know, but I don't have any money or else I would. But that if I had money and a car and I offered to take them out and pick them up and bring them on a date, they would say they would gladly do it. They try to convert me to Christianity. They're trying to convert me to Catholicism. They're trying to bring me to church and shit. Who is harassing who here? You know? Um, but it is just really tense right now because of the ICE situation. And last night was Saturday night, and the two Ecuadorian restaurants that I typically go to were both totally shut down at like 11:30 at night on Saturday. Which, by the way, 2 a.m. bar close, that shit is fucking stupid. Fuck Minnesota. Fuck this stupid state. Fuck this stupid city. Because, I mean, when it's 11:30 at night, like it's just you have to plan. You're already like crunch time. It's just like you have to plan your whole night around like last call. It's like it's only 11:30. We shouldn't be worried about this like hardcore cutoff at 2 a.m. Which for me, it's not even about the alcohol. I don't even care that much about alcohol, but it's just that's and then the bar like it's that's when the party stops. Assuming that you're going around creating a party everywhere you go, and then at 2 o'clock the fucking party stops unless you bring everybody back to your place. So it's just really annoying. It's just so like I don't people in other places wouldn't put up with this bullshit. And that's the other thing, like, I feel like everybody's like, "Oh, you have to keep to yourself and be mi" by the like, okay, this is another thing I'm trying to say. Yeah, so women get harassed. Yes, women get harassed. They get yelled at and catcalled or whatever, and just way more than they would ever want. And I know how the feeling because in China, as a foreigner, there was times when it was like, "Please, God, can people just leave me alone?" Um, or just stop fucking staring at me, or just stop asking me, "Where are you from?" Stop saying, "Welcome to China." You know? But because it's just like hundreds every day. Um, but then like, but then there's a male loneliness epidemic, which is the flip side of that. It's not that you're getting unwanted attention. You're not getting wanted attention. You're not getting any attention. And so it's like the onus is on men to just suck it up and be miserable and lonely and not bother anybody about it. And that if you bother the society or women or if your family or anybody, then you're the one in the wrong. But it's like the fact that there is this male loneliness epidemic, that it's become a thing that everybody knows that phrase, implies that like that it's a real thing that's affecting a lot of people. Uh, and every solution on an individual level that you could do to solve your loneliness, like not every solution, but like most of the people like will look down on or whatever. I don't know. I think we should have government assigned like clubs. Everybody should have to be in like a club of some sort. And then we should have government assigned friends. You have to be friends with this person. Just joking. I don't think that because, socialism sucks, but hey, as long as we're doing like social engineering programs, I feel like that would be a good one. Karaoke is another thing. Like if you're singing songs and like if you're singing, then people can complain that you're bothering them. But if you're not singing and that is bothering you to not sing and not be able to sing without bothering people, then it doesn't seem like they have wronged you. But in reality, singing is a normal human thing to do. All human beings have the capacity to sing and need to occasionally sing for mental health. That's my honest belief. I believe that about singing and dancing. You should sing once in a while, you should dance once in a while. If you don't do that, you're not living a normal human life. That you are designed as a human being to occasionally sing and occasionally dance. So like if other people are bothered by your singing or dancing, that means that they're bothered by you being a human. Like they're the ones in the wrong there. But it never actually looks that way. It's television is another one I want to say. I'm just giving lots of examples because I can't clearly explain what I'm actually trying to say. Television is another one. It's like because when somebody has the TV on and they're watching it, it is affecting you. It's impacting your brain waves. It's inserting thoughts into your fucking brain. It's disrupting your thoughts. It's disrupting your focus. But like when somebody is sitting on the couch watching TV, it's hard to accuse them of doing something wrong unless they're like supposed to be working or they're like being lazy or whatever. But if it's like if they already like worked that day or whatever, and if it's not a lazy situation, it's just like um It's the default and it's the norm. So you how do you criticize somebody? How do you say that they're wrong for doing that? But at the same time, it's like it's affecting your ability to do other like you can't sit down and write a novel while somebody's blasting TV next to you. Or not as well as you could with otherwise. You can't and then writing a novel is just one example. There's a billion different things that you could maybe do or want to do that you can't do as well when somebody's blasting like this right now. I couldn't do this, whatever the fuck this is. Um, mental illness. Like if somebody was like was sitting on the couch right there and watching TV, then this would be fucking impossible for me to just collect my thoughts and organize them and do a little like thought audit, you know? Uh so there's just so many things and it's like but it seems like if you like try to tell somebody don't watch TV, don't sit there and watching TV, don't then you feel like you're the aggressor and you're the one in the wrong. Or it seems like that because the watching TV is like the default normal thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, is there a certain level of there's a certain level of starvation that I think if somebody was starving, there's a certain level they would get to where you would say like that they're justified in stealing food. Like nobody's going to judge them negatively for stealing food once you're at a level where you're truly like starving. If you need it to feed or like especially if you're feeding your family, right? Your family's starving. But like well, what if you're starving for human attention or human affection or human touch? Then is there a certain point where you're justified in stealing it? I'm pretty sure everybody would say no. Everybody would say no. And as much as like from my point of view, I could say like, hey, at this you know point, like I should be allowed to go talk to anybody because I haven't fucking had a girlfriend in 5 years. That's a huge chunk of your life. Like, what am I just gonna be alone for the rest of my fucking life? I just have to be alone. I have to accept that I just have to be. No, I want to try to not be alone. But like, but then you think about somebody else like Ali, and it's like, yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to talk to women. Like, he's gross. She's violent. He should be kept away. All interactions should be considered illegal harassment. Just joking, but somebody like what? No, don't. What are you doing? Are you not wearing clothes? I have been talking about this for a long time. But I mean, And then sometimes it's like you try to talk to people, and then like I remember there's like I was at the Mall of America. I used to go to the Mall of America and just try to talk to women. And at first it's like you're like kind of nervous or shy, and then like you're getting rejected because you're nervous and shy. And then I got good at it. Like one time there's all the Hooters waitresses were like walking by me. There was like 15 of them, you know? And I stopped all of them and started to like hit on all of them at the same time, and they enjoyed it. They loved it. They thought it was amazing. Um but then I talked to this one girl and she accused me of stealing her wallet. And I was like, "Whoa." So, sometimes like you get to the point where it's not about like you get beyond like fear of being rejected, and you start to realize some of these people, now that you're good at meeting people and talking with people, and some of these people you don't want to know. You do not want to know them. They're only trouble. And some of them are even really hot women, but they're just pure trouble, and you would be much better off not knowing them. But what was my point there? uh all right, whatever, let's just read the news. Okay, so I was like going through what happened yesterday, everything that happened yesterday. America Fest? There's such a thing as America Fest. I'm gonna drink Celsius mango lemonade number 2. 200 milligrams of caffeine. Forget Christmas socks, board games, or even cash. The gift many single young adults want most is a spouse. Put on your Santa hat and keep your eyes out for potential matches. Marriage is a bedrock societal institution. It's beneficial for those who tie the knot too. Married women live longer, earn more, and report more meaning in their lives compared to single women. They're also markedly happier than their single peers. Married men are better off too. The truth about marriage is a pretty compelling sales pitch, and most young people are already convinced. Even accounting for a dip in recent years, a strong majority of Americans desire marriage, but many single adults encounter a major logistical difficulty. They've yet to find a potential spouse who they're attracted to and who shares their values and goals. Where it's where matchmaking comes in. It's money. The problem is money. If people had money, they would get married, but it's hard to get married when you don't have any money. It's like, what's the fucking point? We can't buy a house together. We can't start a family together. What is the point? because people are too fucking broke in this country right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's Biden's fault. It really truly is. Give it another 2 years. If it's still happening, then that will be Trump's fault. But for now, it is theoretically possible that there will be a major uptick when they finally, because since Trump has been in office, there hasn't been like a real monetary easing. They've been worried about inflation the whole time. They've been trying to rein things in. But now the ICE raids are actually a negative on the economy. And so that's dragging down the economy and that's reducing inflation from the monetary angle. So then you compensate for that by pumping money into the system while simultaneously constraining the supply of labor. And what could happen then is you have an explosion in wages, in wage growth, people actually earning money. And then you get houses becoming more expensive and you get things becoming more expensive, but for the right reasons. Houses are more expensive because people are buying houses with the money they earned, not because they're speculating on financial investments. People are buying the food costs more because more people have more money to buy more stuff that they want, uh, and not because there was further constraints on the supply. Those are the healthy ways that that's healthy inflation. That's healthy economic growth. That's what you would get ultimately if you continue to constrain the labor market, the labor supply, while also pumping money into the system. We have not had that yet at all. We have had tariffs. We've had attempts by the monetary authorities to rein in inflation, and we've had ICE operations. All three negative things on the economy. But if you finally get that the two negatives, the tariffs and the ICE operations, are so negative that they all by themselves destroy the inflation threat, and therefore the central bank is free to engage in expansionary policy without worrying about inflation, then you could have a real boom, a real boom, but not a boom that starts usually like American economic growth starts in the financial markets and trickles down for the past 30 years. But this would be different. It starts with wages. People's wages start going up, and there's jobs available for higher and higher paying, for higher and higher pay. And then you got that money coming in, and then you can buy a house, you can buy a car, you can start going on vacation, you can start eating at better restaurants. And then that's healthy economic growth instead of this extremely unhealthy economic growth we have had for many decades. Ukraine and United States examine cooperation opportunities in unmanned systems. I'm pretty sure we've been cooperating with them the whole entire time. And also, um, I don't know. There's the American guy that does propaganda for the Chinese. He was saying that like the Ukrainians don't even use the drones provided by the U.S., even though they're free because they suck so bad. I do not believe that at all. But I don't know. Well, I assume he has some basis for making the claim, though. Like, probably doesn't come from nowhere. But I think it's more just that like those drones are expensive, even if they're free. Losing one, they're hard to replace. Like, America's not going to send you a replacement every time you lose one. So you have to be very economical with their usage. But meanwhile, Ukraine is popping out these like drones that are built, these garage drones All right, the live stream ended, and the live stream cut out. And I just continued ranting as though it was still going, even though I knew it was gone. But yeah, no, almost 5 p.m. The sun is about to go down, and that's when this motherfucker finally wakes up and gets out of here. It's just like, fuck, dude, just get up and go and do something productive. It's stressful when people are lazy, because I feel like it's like at a very core level of like human instinct. When somebody, especially somebody so capable of consuming shit as he is, like somebody that could eat a small cow in one sitting, you know, somebody that can drink all of your alcohol in one sitting. Like, if that person is being lazy, like that's a huge burden on all of the others around them. And if that person is like gets up and out and goes and makes money or does something productive, then they're an asset to everybody around them. So I feel like on like a deep, like primitive level, it like really stresses me out when he fucking sleeps all day long, because it's like, bro, you're making life more difficult for me. Like it's like like a subconscious, like we're in the same tribe and my tribe member is lazy. That's gonna make my life more difficult, sort of thought process. But also I just feel like, you know, if you have any appreciation at all for the fact that I've given you a free place to stay for 2 months and you've paid zero fucking rent, then you should show a small amount of respect by waking up during the daytime and doing something productive instead of being in my way and making my life and what I'm attempting to do more difficult, adding extra obstacles for me. Why are you making my life more difficult if you have any sense of appreciation for what I have done for you when I didn't have to do it at all? I didn't fucking owe you anything. So it's like a lack of respect. It is a lack of respect. And it's not that I demand respect or want respect or need respect or any of that, but it's the same thing as I was telling him about like talking over people and interrupting people all the time. The sad thing is not that he's making those people feel bad. The sad thing is how it's negatively affecting his life, because people don't like him as much as they would. They don't trust him as much as they would. They won't work with him as much as they would. They're not giving him as many opportunities as they would, because he doesn't fucking listen to them and he cuts them off when they're two words into a sentence. And when he does that repeatedly, that person is going to write him off as somebody that they can't work with, somebody that doesn't listen. And it's negatively affecting his life. And that's unfortunate. And that's literally the same with like the inability to show like a basic level of respect and appreciation for somebody that gave you a free place to stay when you were sleeping in your car. Like, it's not that I'm upset about it. It's not that I need that for me. I think it's sad that he's incapable of doing that, because it's not just towards me, it's towards everybody in his life, and that's going to negatively affect his life to a large degree. Like, I think if I was like sleeping in my car and somebody offered me a place to stay, I would do everything I could to like not inconvenience them, and also to like get up and do productive things and try to make money and save money and no longer have to be dependent on them. He fucking left finally. Fuck, dude. I was the whole day. I was like, this motherfucker's gonna be sleeping in there the whole. I'm trying to fucking rant. I'm trying to engage in my normal insanity, and he's making me a different type of insane. Yeah, I can't be mixing up the insanities. But yeah, he didn't wake up until the sun goes down. And it's like, bro, I want to be up and doing shit and getting things done during the daytime. Is that hard to understand? And then he gets upset that I'm bothering his sleep in the middle of the fucking day. And then he comes and bothers my sleep in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And he doesn't understand how this is like a terrible way of being. Like he doesn't understand that if you do this like to people, then it's going to negatively affect your life because they're not going to want to fuck with you anymore. And yeah, I was up late last night. I actually didn't go to sleep until 7 in the morning. And I think I was bothering him and keeping him from sleeping until quite late. But I mean, honestly, it's like, bro, you have either slept or went out drinking for like 5 days in a row. You don't need that much sleep and you should just work. Go work. Go make money. Stop fucking around. You know, we have Mo to fuck around. We don't need two guys. Did you see that Edward So thing I sent you? The Edward, did I send you the video of Edward So, motherfuckers that prioritize smoking? I didn't send that to you? I think I sent it to you. No, there's this like a comedian Edward So. Probably, but I watch him on YouTube. Damn, this is 16 minutes long. This guy just put out. Oh, let's see. I just got high. Or no, I just got cold. I want to say. I just got cold in a way that you can only get cold if you're high or hungover.
I'm not sure which one it is, but the solution is you have to get up and move around, which is the thing when it's really cold outside. If you want to get up and move around, you have to do it inside of your home. And that's hard to do when there's somebody sleeping in the middle of your living room, which is fine if they sleep at night and then get up during the day and go do something. But if they sleep all fucking day, China's property okay. China stabilizing China's property crisis tops Beijing's priority list for 2026, but will not be easy. China now has 27 months of housing inventory. Local government finances are already at risk. God. You know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna end this live stream. We'll go to the bathroom and then I'll start it up right here again.